Okay, episode 4
Hi everyone, welcome to episode 4.
of pH labels, the world famous in Thaltej podcast.
If you don't know, it's a location in Ahmedabad. You forget I have other subscribers from all over the world. What is this one? I don't
Sorry.
cater to people only in Ahmedabad.
Sorry. So I'm not as good with segues as you are, so I'll try. But I'll try and fail. But eventually I'll pass with flying colors.
Oh my god.
So how was your week? What did you do? Any highlights?
My week was good. Very hectic. Okay, this current week is very lazy. Previous week was very hectic.
Okay.
Since we are off the schedule for recording this podcast. So
Yeah, we generally record we generally record it a week before we publish, but this is just 2 days before we are going to publish.
yes.
हाँ, so like कल से दोनों को लगना पड़ेगा एडिट करने में. एडिट तो हम करते ही नहीं है,
एडिट नहीं करते हैं बट जो भी करते हैं उसमें लगना पड़ेगा
जो भी थोड़ा
रिलेटेड टू दिस पॉडकास्ट
15 मिनट का काम करता है वो कल जल्दी करना पड़ेगा.
यस
Okay.
You are hot
Yeah.
with that cold offense.
But you didn't give me enough content to give a segue.
Okay. What was my week like? My week was hectic. It was emotionally hectic, physically hectic, work
Professionally hectic.
Yeah, professionally also.
So did you get continue? Sorry.
And if it is emotionally hectic, it is mentally hectic also.
True.
Because you have to take care of multiple things around the house also.
Okay. So you told me you like last week you had to you some like multiple clients contacted you, I think. Not multiple clients, but this is what you say exactly. I forgot.
I had a productive week because I had a lot of orders and a lot of bookings,
Nice.
which was after a long time. Chabri, who is money your topic?
No, it's not my topic. But how would you say what exactly is your work?
My work caters to healing and helping people, more of life coaching, because it caters to all sectors of life,
Okay.
which includes relationships, which includes careers, directions of their house, their health, their mental health, physical health, emotional health, spiritual health,
That's high five. That's the topic for today.
spirituality.
Spirituality. Yes. So I will give you a good justification as to why I chose this topic.
Your code open happens only because of me.
So like
My code open also happens because of me. What is this nonsense? Upgrade your skill.
नहीं मैं बोलता हूँ and then you stop me and then say that's today's topic. तो वैसा ही हुआ ना मैंने
Let's
ऐसे
pull it out of you.
What?
This so you told me you have to talk
Huh?
more and then I talked more and then you pulled it out of
You have years of experience with this kind of stuff. I'm a
my
beginner.
God.
I'm a noob.
Amateur.
I'm an amateur. तो
Sorry if there is some choo-choo in the background. I really want to open my package.
That's a terrible record. Like they are doing a podcast and you are like opening this plastic thing in just right in front of the mic.
It's done. Sorted. हो गया. चलो continue.
हाँ तो आज का topic might turn a bit serious. Might turn a bit like in the serious wavelength. But how I chose this topic is like due to some other thing.
What other thing?
Like just the day we are going to record actually, उसी दिन something happened. Like earlier, like एक दिन पहले ही मेरा topic अलग था. 2 दिन पहले I think. उसी दिन हम record.
Because we will record it sometime else.
Sorry.
जो पहले वाला topic
नहीं हाँ वो पहले वाला topic like earlier I was going to choose another topic but something happened and many things like guided me to choose this topic कि हाँ मतलब I need to talk about this. And
in one day, in 24 hours, something happened which brought you to spirituality.
Even I not spirituality. It's
Because our yesterday's conversation was
Oh.
Or it cannot bring you to spirituality.
नहीं spirituality but it also kind of like थोड़ा मतलब spirituality आया because of this thing called death. So like I had messaged you right कि
Yes.
a neighbor of mine, her daughter, she died of cancer. She passed away because of cancer. She was like around 30, and it's just मतलब sad कि a mother lost her daughter at this.
So I think it has two implications. I think this is something also I was facing a couple of weeks back because someone close to somebody who is close to me passed away, and that was the concern that people were upset that they lost somebody, but at the same time, they were also happy that the person was suffering a lot.
Right.
So their suffering came to an end. This you can see in two ways.
Sure, but like I think the person you are referring to, she was like kind of aged. I think maybe.
Yeah, matlab our mom's age.
Okay. Right.
I think 4-5 years plus.
Okay, right. वो सही है. Like she had cancer, so she had been suffering since the last year, I think, and the last few months were terrible for her. And yeah, so there is a small silver lining that her suffering ended. But to that, there's also this thing कि a mother lost her daughter at the age of 30. That's like a terrible tragedy. No parent should ever have to face it. So, मतलब, हाँ, it just got me thinking कि like, why? Like, मतलब, even with my father, it was a shock. Like, it was a surprise. 2 days
Are we
ago.
talking about losing people or we are talking about spirituality?
I'll
Because
get into it.
both are very different.
I know. I'm getting into it. I have this figured out.
Okay.
So I was talking even with my father, like 2 days before he died, he was like all good, hatta katta, and amazing and perfect. But Chanaki in 2 days, his health deteriorated rapidly and I lost him. So it was like a shock and like कुछ पहले side भी ऐसा नहीं था. हाँ, it didn't make sense. So why I'm relating death and spirituality is like this didn't make sense to me as to why this would happen. And like I personally am an atheist. I don't believe in any kind of like
What?
What?
You don't?
I don't. You didn't know?
No.
No, I am an atheist. I don't believe in any kind of God, any spiritual thing. I believe in nothing.
Are
Nothing.
you kidding me?
You didn't know?
No, I didn't know.
What? I don't. मैंने बोला हुआ तो
I
था
didn't know this at all.
मैंने तेरे सामने बोला हुआ है कि like the work you do, like I like support you and all, but I don't believe in any of those things that
My work is not related to religion.
kind of it is. It's
Very, very little. Not like completely.
not
to
religion as well as spirituality. Belief.
God, this is a shock for me.
Interesting episode this is going to be. Okay. हाँ तो मैंने
Your phone cover. Okay, yes, continue.
हाँ thanks I got मतलब नया ही लिया हाँ तो मतलब आई चूज दिस बिकॉज लाइक हाँ मतलब मेरा तो पहले से बिलीव था ही कि हाँ मतलब ऐसी चीज़ें होती रहती है such terrible things happen. How can you justify the existence of God in such a terrible world? Like not just death, but also evil things, slavery and all of the other terrible stuff that's happening. And I'm sure like you have heard this like multiple times ki in a world where such evil exists, how can you justify the existence of God and all like someone who looks after us, someone who we can look up to if he or she or it exists? How can you like you are smiling?
I'm smiling because I have so much to say. And also I have so much which I cannot put into words. So I don't know how to.
See, a podcast here, so we can put our thoughts into words. कि हाँ मतलब did I relate this right? Nathan spirituality did I segue right into spirituality?
Yeah, sort of.
हाँ तो मतलब वही like question like मेरे तो पहले तो सही था ही कि हाँ मतलब ऐसी random चीजें होती रहे कि it's not going to make sense and just like इसलिए I don't believe in this kind of thing कि हाँ मतलब ऐसा है तो ऐसा क्यों हो रहा है like at least provide an explanation as to why this kind of stuff happens. So
My personal take is first of all, spirituality is way above something you're talking right now. It is very different from this. religion is also pose apart from what you're talking right now. But I understand what you're trying to talk about.
That was just like the thing that
Trigger.
that triggered me to talk about this thing. Ki, हाँ, I don't believe it in, and you believe I know. You believe I know you believe in this kind of thing, right? Spirituality.
Yeah.
हाँ तो बस वही टॉपिक था, but this was just a trigger कि हाँ मतलब we should talk about this. कि I completely don't believe in this and you believe in this. तो उसके लिए I wanted to discuss कि what's your
So I have multiple takes. Number one is, if evil exists, so does good. You cannot
but like,
have something good exist without the bad, because then you will not be able to value something good. It is, so there are multiple laws of the universe. What you are talking about right now is the law of duality. If I'm slapping you once and if I'm giving you a hug the next second, the hug will be more powerful because I slapped you previously. So now you value that hug more. So that is why if no evil exists, you cannot appreciate the goodness of the world. This is like...
But don't you think there is more evil, like much more evil than there is good?
No. It's in equal amounts. The only problem is, it's not a problem, well, it's another rule. Any sort of negative energy is more powerful than a yes. So if I tell you no, it is going to be much more powerful than a yes. It's the law of energy also. Like, if there is something which is in negation or contradiction, it will create more heavy emotions or more heavy energy than if everybody agrees to something and they go on to it. I don't know how much sense it makes to you, because with me it is at multiple levels. I think he's very confused now.
Not confused,
Or
but
he's just trying to understand this.
sorry, I didn't listen to the last time.
Put your fucking phone aside.
Sorry. Could you just repeat your last 10-15 seconds? I could not.
So, all I'm trying to say is, no is a powerful energy, and no has a stronger energetic balance than a yes. If I'm telling you no about something, like yesterday you were planning something for the weekend, I stuck to my no and it somehow cancelled all of your plans. But if I would have said yes, it would have not been that strong of an impact as a no would have, because that is what happens. Any sort of negative thing happening around the world has heavier energy than anything positive that happens. This is the law. It's not me.
Agree. No is more like impactful than a yes.
Yeah.
But still, I didn't get an answer. Well, generally, though, like people say na कि भगवान है हमारी रक्षा करेगा सबको बचाएगा हमें guide करेगा.
So second thing that comes is the law of karmic balance. Like I really do believe in this, that whatever needs you do in your this life, or you might have done in the past life, you
So you
have to
believe in that as well?
Yes, I do. I am a healer. I talk about past life so much. It is like 50% of my job.
Right.
I also do past life regression. Do you know that?
I didn't know that.
You can do meditations. You can figure out multiple things about this life which come from your past life.
यार कितने like polars हैं हम in this thing.
Because you're just starting out. So when I was your age, probably I was also in this zone where I did believe in God, that I have been since childhood. But itna I was not into spirituality. Even if I would have been at your age, of course, I would have been the same. Thoda sa Bhagwan mein zyada manti tumse, but otherwise, yeah, I would have been the same, because there are so many things which I have just started seeing in the past 4-5 years. So it really shapes your vision towards a particular thing. So maybe this little incident that happened with you, or how it happened with your dad, has triggered this learning with you. Maybe each and everything that happens from now onwards, it will shape your thinking about a particular thing.
Right.
So for me also it was the same.
Okay, For me, it like shaped me into like non-believer. For you, it shaped you into a believer.
Not really non-believer. I think it's more like what customs and cultures have to do with religion has nothing to do with spirituality. Religion is something which was made so that you can access energy from the higher power.
The things you are saying, like none of it, like
Makes sense to you because you have
none of it is going into my. Matlab, I don't buy it. Whatever you're saying.
I don't care. Buy it or not, I don't care actually. So, law of manifestation also, when you pray also, there are so many things that keep on happening, but you have to change your idea of spirituality for that. You cannot be an atheist. So, being an atheist, you can still believe in spirituality.
Agreed. But
So,
it's like
it's
वो spirituality
like
के
a huge
अंदर
umbrella.
it's a huge spirituality के अंदर God आता है among other things, right?
Spirituality के अंदर God आते हैं. I think that's a very lame statement, but
अरे मतलब like spirituality is a whole huge umbrella. उसके अंदर God, like belief in other things, supernatural things.
it's a part of spirituality,
हाँ.
not spirituality.
तो I as a person just reject spirituality as a whole वैसा. But okay, like how, like, was there a particular incident that got you into this, or over a period of time things happened that made you believe in this?
So have you seen Tarak Mehta Ka Ulta Chashma?
Some episodes. Yeah.
You know who's Jethalal and you know his lifestyle. I mean, he would constantly keep on stepping into troubles.
Huh.
That was me. People called me Jethalal. They still do, but the level has now decreased. So initially I was like, every single day I would face some or the other problem. And it would be very lame, but I know it would be happening because of me. So there are some people, who know that something's wrong with them. Like, if I'm stepping onto a train, the train would somehow have an engine problem. If I'm stepping onto a plane, the plane would have some sort of problem and the flight would get delayed. This was my life, I think, 4-5 years back.
For not you.
Yes, because not for anyone else, but for myself. Like, I would constantly get into troubles. So at that point, one fine afternoon, I was like, I'm done with this thing. What should I do with my life? And then at that time, there was some movie that was going on in the TV. And I'm like, ठीक है, I got some ideas from that. And then I was always a believer in God. And then I was like, ठीक है, थोड़ा पूजा पाठ करके देख लेते, शायद life सुधर जाए. And it worked for me. It worked magically for me.
Okay, so you prayed in front of God, and after that,
I have a daily ritual now, which I do every day.
what is it?
I wake up in the morning. So if you can see, I have a God's photo right in front of my bed.
Right.
So I wake up and my first vision is that okay, whatever I am, I've surrendered it to the God. I wake up, I shower, I do some little bit of puja, and then I begin my day. So now it has become a huge part of my life. And that has really brought me into this zone कि हाँ ठीक है, भगवान है और भगवान सुनते हैं, लेकिन आना चाहिए, कैसे सुनाना है उनको, like डांटने वाला नहीं, but help वाला. But yeah, so that was my first part, which brought me into religion, not spirituality. My spirituality thing began when I was learning meditations, when I was going through this phase when I used to have anxiety attacks. At that time, I really wanted to learn how can you listen to your soul and your intuition more. And that is when I started learning this. This was, I think, just when the lockdown happened. Yes, 2019 December के बाद, yes. February I enrolled for the course and March में lockdown लग गया था. So that is when I was learning about spirituality and not religion. So even the work I do has a very thin understanding of religion, only if it is required. If it's not required, I do not really cater to multiple religions at once. I just cater to energy. That's all.
Okay. Okay, so
ऐसा लग रहा है सब bounce जा रहा है इसको.
नहीं bounce नहीं जा रहा है, but just like I'm not.
He's not going to be convinced any which way.
हाँ हाँ, तो मतलब some people say कि the number one reason they believe is that they see it as a ray of hope in their life. Because someone is there to guide them. They have someone to look up to.
Yeah.
तो
Always.
हाँ, तो मतलब is that the number one thing for you as well?
Yes. Because even today, I also do fastings on Monday, if you're aware of.
I didn't know this.
I go to temples every Monday. I do a puja there. Like it's a very rigid ritual. Like nobody can change it for me. Come what may happens, and if it is a Monday, I will not give a shit about anything. I'll go to the temple first.
You go to temples as well?
Every Monday, first thing in the morning, no matter what happens.
Wow.
Like anything is going wrong, it can be put to hold. I can sort it out later. First, I'll do my thing.
Okay. But do you see it as the kind of like does it like comfort you?
A lot.
मतलब your mental health is at like it affects it.
When I'm so there's this thing which happens with me, which is sensory overload.
Okay.
If I don't get my me time, even littlest of noise will irritate me. And I get angry very often. I think this was me a week before. You know how annoyed I was with everything. And all I wanted to do was just go to the temple and sit there. That's all. So I would either I would go to the temple and sit there, or I'll go to the terrace and sit under the moon. These are the two of my top rated anxiety relief remedies.
Okay, temple is one of those. So what
But
exactly?
then needs somebody who believes in it. Like you need to really believe in that God, or you need to really believe कि वहाँ जाके शांति मिल रही है. Of course, the vibrations are different. Everything is different. But now for a person like you, and if you have some sort of anxiety issue, I cannot tell you कि भाई तुम मंदिर जाके बैठो. You will step up and slap me straight away.
My remedy is different from your remedy.
Of course. So even when I'm working with different people, every remedy is dependent on that person's energy. It's not something which would always work for me. It is different from people to people.
So when you go to temple or sit under the moon, do you just like sit and take the space around you in, or do you like chant anything? Do you say anything, or do you just observe and do you just be present in that space?
When I'm sitting under the moon, I'm just observing. I'm just observing the moon. I'm just sitting in that breeze.
Yeah, you're not doing anything. You just
But when I go to temple, I religiously chant. I sit there, I will chant a few things and just be in that space. So I don't know if you know this or not. I'm the most religious person in my family.
Oh, you are.
Not my parents, not my brother, not my bhabhi. It's me. They don't go to temples that much as I do. They don't do puja part that religiously as much as I do.
So they are religious. Is anyone among those atheist or agnostic?
My brother sort of is atheist, but he's not like कि भगवान exist नहीं करते. He's more like ठीक है.
But I'm not going to go to temples. बस मुझे कुछ चाहिए होगा तो मैं भगवान को विश करूँगा कि दे दो.
He's
a selective believer.
Yeah, selective believer.
अच्छा, okay. हाँ तो like this question is for me. Like there are some questions which is for me. कि like
go ahead.
If like there exists, I'm literally reading it off my notes. There exists something beyond science that humankind has not been able to understand. So, एक second about there exists something beyond science that humankind has not been able to understand.
True.
If not, why do we exist? So this is the question for me कि like अगर ऐसा कुछ नहीं है, then why do we exist? हमारा purpose क्या है? ये तो फिर बहुत philosophical line में चला गया.
No, it is the true line. Like spirituality begins from this question. If you don't understand this.
What is our purpose, right? हाँ तो so for my defense is कि
whatever your
और ये भी
difference, it is a fuck all logic.
it's a brilliant logic. No, कि हाँ मतलब it kind of ties into this as well कि how do you find meaning without spirituality, all of that. Life का purpose ही क्या है, like क्यों जी रहे हो, meaning क्या है life का, why are you doing this, why are you waking up 9 a.m. going to night,
So I'll ask you another question in line with this. Okay, right now you're working, you have a job, you have a family, your friends. Okay, after you earn a lot of money, right? Like you have loads of money and you have a very stable family, you have good friends. What after that? Like, will you keep on living the same circular life or you would want to do something more?
So for me this is not like, my one thing is it's not a specific destination that I want to reach. It's the journey that I want to
I'm just telling you कि जो चाहिए था सब मिल गया है. बहुत सारा पैसा मिल गया, अच्छा फैमिली मिल गया, अच्छा पार्टनर मिल गया. Like the best partner you can imagine, everything is perfect. Probably sometime down the line you might want kids also. Kids भी आ गए, बहुत अच्छे सुधरे हुए बच्चे, unlike you.
Okay.
But उसके बाद आगे क्या? Like what would you want to do with your life?
So the thing is I don't have this kind of specific goal in mind. हाँ मतलब ऐसा छोटा चीज़ है कि हाँ 10 साल के बाद I want to have my own company, I want to go
सब मिल गया, everything.
But हाँ I'm not
चार्टर प्लेन में मिल गया. अब बोल.
मैं आज जो work कर रहा हूँ I'm not working for that day after 10 years.
Yeah.
ऐसा कुछ goal नहीं है मेरा. I'm just like, for me enjoyment is like being
Not my for enjoyment. I'm asking for your purpose.
नहीं ऐसा purpose है ही नहीं मेरा. Like हाँ small purpose है कि हाँ मतलब it's not a huge part of my life. सबका purpose होता है, yes agree, but like मेरा उतना भी नहीं है कि like hustle mindset कि 10 साल के बाद मैं like करोड़पति mansion whatever, like ऐसा उतना नहीं है मेरा.
Okay.
I just want to be able to enjoy the journey. For me, that is following my passion. For me, that is being with my friends, spending time with my friends, all of that.
But that is now.
But that is what gives me a high. That is what makes me look forward into the future. कि हाँ मतलब मेरा शो एक वीक के बाद like actually मेरा शो एक वीक के बाद आ रहा है. So that kind of thing is what drives me. कि हाँ मतलब I'm going to create these things. I'm going to
temporary happinesses are more important to you. But
I'd say that sounds very wrong, but correct.
It's not wrong.
Not wrong, but just like,
and it also doesn't sound wrong because at multiple stages of life, you will have multiple ways of goals. Like right now, for you, enjoying life is more important because you are in that stage of life. Probably when you reach to my stage of life, you would want something which gives you a lot of stability, which will give you a lot of peace, basically. So, multiple kinds of work I do. This healing is not only my one field of income. But when I'm working for helping people, and when somebody comes up to me and says कि आपने जैसा बोला था हो गया, or if I have told them to do something and if they have gotten the result they have wanted, it is something else. Like I cannot express how good it feels. I cannot express how beautiful it is to see that you were able to help somebody else. It is just like those little acts of kindness which drives a human. For example, if you're feeding a stray dog, it gives you a different high than of achieving those little temporary goals. So those little highs are supposed to be your goals for life, purpose for life, that you are helping more and more people. That is how you're creating your good deeds balance. So basically, if you follow any sort of religious scripture, the idea is to have so much good karma that each and every life that comes one after the other, you have a better lifestyle. And after that happens, after you have resolved all your karmic balance, that is when you attain liberation.
But why are you relating this with spirituality? Like, what? For once, try not to get
because this is a trigger for spirituality.
मतलब किस टॉपिक पे बात कर रहे थे और कहाँ आ गए? Like, we are talking about purpose. कि हाँ मेरा purpose ये है कि हाँ, as you said, chasing small shots of मतलब high. not hiding. What did you say?
Kindness.
Not
Helping
kindness.
people.
Not helping, but like छोटे
Contribution.
rather than a huge whole thing, like having that goal of this बाद मैं ऐसा होऊंगा वैसा. No, I don't chase that. I chase these small.
That's fine. But so
So as you said, as you said कि when a client comes and said कि मैं एक साल पहले आपने जो बोला था वो सही निकला and I'm so happy. So that's your high. My high is like releasing my show. वैसा कुछ.
yeah, of course. What I'm trying to say here is the human need of contribution. Like you want to contribute to people's lives. For example, let's put my work aside. It will not go into the stupid brain of yours. We'll talk about your work. All the movies you make, all the movies you watch, what is it? Like suppose you're watching a movie that creates an impact on you. When the movie was made, what would the director or the producer want it to be like? Like, okay, if this movie comes out, it is going to create a lot of perspective change, or it is going to create a new mindset, or it is going to touch so many people's lives. What are they doing? They are not creating a commercial movie. They are creating an emotion. They are creating a feeling which they want to cater to, which is what is giving them money. It is not the storyline. It is not the actors. It is more like how is the movie touching the person. Basically, what I do, it's impacting people, and what movies do also impacts people in multiple ways.
Your thing is like for others. You do it for others. My thing is that I do it for myself. कि मतलब I created this movie. So like the first reason I created it is it's not for others. It's for me.
Okay.
I want to like do this for myself.
Okay.
When I'm hanging out with my friends, I love it. I do it for myself because I enjoy the company. वैसा कुछ तो हाँ मतलब.
And sometimes you don't, so you walk away and you go home. कि बहुत हो गया, फिर से नहीं झेला जा रहा है.
Yeah, what was the thing? हाँ मतलब purpose.
Yeah, so
meaning.
Every stage of life, your definition of purpose or meaning of life will change. Every stage of life. It's not going to be constant. अभी मेरा purpose ये है. एक साल बाद कुछ और होगा. 2 साल बाद कुछ और होगा. It keeps on changing.
Yeah.
So I'm just talking about purpose as a whole. That is why I was talking about the karmic balance. That's why I was talking about kindness. Because overall that remains the same.
Still, I try to not include spirituality in this.
Got it.
Okay. So did you ever have doubts about your beliefs?
I always have doubts about my beliefs, but I still believe them. Because that's me.
Because you don't have any other option. Like
No, I have options, but it's like, okay, if it's working for me, it's good for me, it's true to me. I don't care if it works for you or not. Honestly, this is what I am right now. कि ठीक है मेरे लिए काम कर रहा है, perfect. किसी के लिए नहीं करना, it's your problem, not my problem. And I've really like built myself for this mindset, so now I'm pretty much set into it. Because how I see religion, how I see spirituality is way different than what my family or my parents see it. It's like very different.
How exactly is it?
Because they have a different way of believing things. Like kindness and all remains the same, because people say you should be helpful and you should stand up for people. But how I understand energy, how I understand different vibrations, it is majorly because of my intuition. And for them, it is very difficult to understand from where I'm coming, because I really do believe in energy of people, places. And for them, it's like जो पढ़ा है, जो सुन रहे हैं, जो सीख रहे हैं, life experience है, उस पे ज़्यादा होता है. So it's very different for both of us. Like it's like me versus them, very much. Or I mean, I think almost all the time. But ठीक है, it's not a topic of controversy at my place. It's more like ठीक है, you do your thing, I will do my thing.
That's nice.
Happy.
Right. यार मैंने क्वेश्चंस लिखे थे बट आई रन आउट ऑफ देम. आई थॉट लाइक लंबा डिस्कशन होगा.
मैं देती हूँ ना क्वेश्चन.
Yes, please. Yeah, you said earlier कि हाँ मतलब I was supposed to say हाँ. Let's talk.
So it's not about just question answers.
There's
One
discussion.
one thing that really caters into spirituality is, so I'll just ask your opinion about it, is your hobbies.
Okay.
Whatever hobbies you have as a person, it will not cater to you as a human being. It will cater to you as a soul.
इसमें the spirituality.
We are talking about spirituality. Do you want to talk about it or not? Let's stop the recording.
यार, why did I choose this topic? Continue.
मारो अपने पैर पे कुल्हाड़ी, मेरा क्या?
Continue.
Yes, so the hobbies you have is energetically, it is your first zone of spirituality. Because it is something you've been doing since childhood, probably, or when you were not really open to the outside world. So, जो hobbies होती है, even today, like practicing your own hobby is one of the top remedies I give my clients.
Nice.
Because the level of energetic relief hobby practicing gives will not be done by any meditation or any sort of healing. So if
another way to say it is that it gives you purpose. It makes you like want to wake up in the morning.
In alive.
You look forward to it.
Yeah, but थोड़ा सा if you want I can go deeper. Then
sure.
you cannot.
Then बाद में गाली दूंगा.
Because I've tried to explain it to you. When you practice a hobby, it fulfills your inner child. Now, what is your inner child? It is your soul. How you were in your childhood, how pure you were in your childhood. So it balances that energy. So बड़े होके जितने भी खराब थॉट्स आते हैं या जितना भी लाइफ साइकिल में फंसते जाते, the more you practice your hobby, it will keep you connected to your soul. So being that person, it becomes easier to cater through life, as opposed to when you're not practicing your hobby.
This is nice. I got it.
So if you are into movies and you love watching movies, लेकिन कभी कभी होता होगा when you do not get time to watch something good, even though you're working with the same field, and then it becomes a lack. कि यार मेरे को time नहीं मिल रहा है. I want to watch this movie. I want to watch this series. मेरे को time नहीं मिल रहा है. And as soon as you get that time, as soon as you watch even one episode of a series you've been waiting to, it will give you a different kind of relief, comfort.
Right.
So that is how spirituality is connected to hobbies. It is, spirituality is not a huge thing. It's just how you see life in those little moments. It's
Okay.
a quote you should write down. But
Can you repeat?
spirituality is not a huge thing. It is how you see life in those little moments.
Spirituality is not a huge thing. It is how you see life in those little moments. It didn't make sense, but okay.
So if you remember the last episode of art, I was talking about natural art so much more, about the sunsets, about the moon, about sunrises, about colors in the sky. So even in those moments, you sit and you just observe it. It's also spirituality because you're connecting to yourself, you're connecting to nature. That has nothing to do with your lifestyle. It only has to do something with how good you feel when you're doing that.
So when you talked about inner child, this thing popped up in my mind कि बचपन में तो I don't think I had any like that huge of a hobby. My hobby I developed in my late teens.
That's a...
तो हाँ मतलब are there any cases where
Oh, this makes so much sense now. नहीं उसके बारे में बात
but हाँ I'm writing this down. I want to know.
Off record, but
हाँ I'll note this down because I want to talk about it.
अब ये मेरे को रात को कॉल करके बोल टापा खाएगा.
हाँ तो sorry हाँ मतलब are there any cases where they do not have any hobbies as a child and that like kind of alters their like
always
अच्छा तो
because
मतलब इस hobby थी number one like this thing inner child
to your soul. Yes.
number one. So hobbies के बाद क्या क्या आता है for the inner
इसके
child?
बाद what पूछा था like how emotionally mature you are, how you morals and ethics जिसके बारे में हमने बात किया था, it is also a part of spirituality because that will shape of your soul, that will shape of your vibrations. Then meditations आते हैं, how well you balance yourself, what kind of foods you eat, what kind of people do you meet, what kind of music do you listen to, everything. Basically anything you are absorbing, like आजकल बोलते हैं content देखना. Content क्या होता है? It is something you're absorbing as a human that shapes your mindset, that shapes your emotional body. It also shapes somehow your physical body because you get inspired by something or the other and you want to try it out. So everything is a part of spirituality. It's not different. Even the work you do. Because having hobbies, so I have had a huge clientele जिनके पास कोई hobbies ही नहीं होती है. They don't know what to do. For them, it's like बस मुझे सोना है, लेटना है, आराम करना है. That's all. And it's not a hobby. It's your resting space.
Right. But if you did not have any hobby as a child and you have
It shapes up a person into a lot of mental immaturity.
Mental immaturity.
Yes.
अच्छा मैं ये like I read this quite a lot. Is there a difference between mental and emotional? मतलब
Very much.
what exact? I kind of have an idea, but
You know what's aura? You know what is aura?
मैं यार इसमें भी aura मतलब vibe.
Yes, your energy is your aura basically. So उसमें बहुत सारे layers होते हैं. Your very first layer is your physical body, which you can touch. It is a tangible energy. Body language or anything you can touch basically. उसके बाद आता है your mental body. What kind of thoughts you have? What is your thought process? So when you are doing something and on the phone I can figure it out without even seeing you, that is because of your mental energy, because I know your mental body so well. Yes, then comes your emotional body, where your emotions lie, where your subconscious thought patterns lie, your love languages lie, your dating lifestyle, your expectations and needs from other people lie. Basically, all kinds of bonds you have, that energy stays in your emotional body. And then comes your spiritual body. So there are multiple layers to an aura. That is why mental energy and emotional energy is very different. It did not make sense, I know.
No, but just like talking outside of the spiritual thing, mental or emotional में exactly क्या like someone is like ऐसा means they can like mentally 9-year-old but emotionally 14-year-old ऐसा कुछ like just बहुत surface. What is the difference between?
It's like logic and it's like head versus heart.
Okay. Emotional is heart, mentally.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, you remember the phone call just before recording when I had a moral emergency?
Yeah.
I wanted to do something which was right in my head, but it was not right for my heart. So I was confused. That is what mental and emotional energy is.
Healthcare. अच्छा okay, got it.
Yes.
Right. हाँ तो मतलब so if you again this thing I was like talking कि मतलब हाँ as a child if you did not develop hobbies but as an adult if you do have hobbies you can like pursue that to
Yeah.
like
Always. There is no age to pursue hobbies. You can always do it.
नहीं मतलब ऐसा थोड़ा तो मतलब ऐसा रहेगा ना कि like to inner child को heal करने के लिए if you inner child को तो कोई hobby थी नहीं.
That's okay. Hobbies is anything that makes you feel good, that makes you feel comfortable within yourself. So if I'm dancing, if I'm painting or drawing or doodling, or if I'm spending time in open air, that is one of my favorite hobbies. मेरे खुले आसमान के नीचे time चाहिए रहता है. I cannot all the time be constrained to a closed space. So for me, that is a hobby that will make me feel good. कुछ खास करना भी रहता है. Not validated, it's like comfortable. It makes you feel comfortable.
Validate your like presence in here. It makes you feel alive, as the children say.
Yes, it makes you feel alive, true.
Okay. Any other thing you have in?
I want to know your hobbies apart from watching movies.
हाँ तो mostly it's related to internet too. Like I watch.
That's not hobby. That's addiction.
It's not a
End of screen. So basically, your hobbies have to cater to who you are. It should not have a dependent source.
Okay, हाँ मैंने like लिख के भी रखा था यार मेरी hobbies but shit.
ऐसे भी लोग होते हैं जिनको खुद की हॉबी याद नहीं रहती, उनको लिख के रखनी पड़ती है. प्लीज रिमेम्बर.
Because like सबका ऐसा होता है ना कि there are multiple hobbies. I have only this one huge hobby. बाकी सब छोटी छोटी hobbies.
तो पता ना छोटी छोटी हॉबी है.
हाँ तो quizzing में I was very interested in college. A friend got me into quizzing. मतलब it's basically trivia sharing and
Oh,
playing games of quizzing.
oh, there's one nice app. We can play quizzes on that app for multiple.
I was psych, no, not psych.
Quiz up.
Quiz up.
We can download and we can play.
Oh, no, that's a different kind of quizzing. This is like ज्ञान चोरिंग kind of quizzing. वो वाला.
Okay.
हाँ तो मतलब just basically it's basically for knowledge sharing उसके लिए. So that I was very interested in. Why are you cringing? I said it. तो क्या मतलब?
Because I don't want abusive words on my
You literally 3 बार अभी तो in these whole 4 episodes.
Fucking an emotion.
मतलब I
Sounds very wrong. What you said sounds
नहीं,
not
it's not vulgar. It's like it's an actual expression.
okay. जाना दो छोड़ो.
नहीं ले actually think about it. It's not meant to be vulgar.
Okay, it's okay.
फिर of what yeah man about shit यार movies the other hobby that
Any other hobbies like
वही तो बोल रहा हूँ let me वही तो बोल रहा हूँ movies के life में this another hobby is sports. I love sports like and play any sport with me I am going to defeat you. Like I think I am above average.
That's why I don't play any sport with you.
I am above average in all the sports. Like when like table tennis, when I was a kid, I used to play table tennis a lot in summers. Lawn tennis के लिए I did classes. Badminton I went for like 5-6 years to stay.
So if you guys don't know how we met through. If you break my bracelet, you're going to pay for it. We met through aerial yoga classes, and then we connected because of dancing.
We connected because
we did bachata in Kumbhalgarh, and then we went to socials, and that's how we got better connected.
Yeah, so basically physical activities are also my like sports. Dancing to like पहले था अब तो चला ही गया है. I don't know what. तो sports is like my huge. But खेलने को नहीं मिलता कोई है.
Also swimming. You like swimming. Swimming is your me time.
It's my me time.
It's me time for me also. Like when I'm swimming, I would rather be alone than have people around.
Same. I also did the theater workshop for a month and like basically anything that involves physical activity.
Or anything that involves learning new things.
वैसा.
Curiosity.
Yes. And so like sports, I would say physical activity. Those are my hobbies. And of course, like my number one is like content consumption. And it sounds terrible. No, in Instagram reels, YouTube shorts, not that stuff. But like actual movies and shows, that's I love. I owe my life to those things. Why are you?
That how ideas of life changes with generation. Like idea of
No, this is really one of you. This
like I do watch a lot of movies and shows, you know it, right? But for me, it is not something that would fulfill my inner child.
But this is
For me, that is like not giving me a breather and consuming.
this for you is a distraction.
No, it's not a distraction. It's something I love to do, but it's not something which will make me feel relaxed. It will make me feel
This one
normal. Like normal. Not good. Not that. Of course, I'll feel good if I have good content. But
No, but this like for me, this is what it is what has comforted me in my terrible times. This was with me when no one else was. So इसीलिए this thing is like very special to me.
Okay. What kind of
I mean, like, I don't think.
I have one specific set of movies which will make me feel good. Like that is my hobby. It's my guilty pleasure. Which means
Anything to comfort you.
yeah. So if I'm having a bad time, I can watch. Like for example, watching Friends. Friends is comfort, but it's not hobby. Again.
Those are very different.
Yeah.
Comfort and hobby. So I was saying कि मतलब हाँ this thing won't make sense to others because they have not been like exposed to these movies like I have been. Like if you watch the same movie that I was, like it is going to have a deeper impact on me, or some movies might have a deeper impact on you.
Yeah.
It might have on me. But for me, the way I have like designed my mind to consume it, for me it is very I don't have a word for it. So I say spiritual.
No. Yeah, it can be spiritual, but if you watch movies like I do, like you don't want to miss a scene, you don't want to miss a dialogue, you want to be completely consumed by it. You are literally like there. Nothing else matters. Then of course it can be something that will give you a lot of your free time, free space to release all the stress. But at the same time, it is something you are putting into you. It's not something you're letting out.
I
For me, the idea of hobby is letting out excess energy. Because with the work I know, that is the basic idea. So my idea of hobby is changed now. Got it?
sense.
Yeah. You need to let out the stress. You need to let out anything that is not serving you. How do you do that? You do something which makes you feel good. So you are balancing it out also at the same time. You're grounding basically. Or
This was a good explanation. कि have hobby is
thank you.
hobby for you is using what I mean. हाँ तो एक चीज ये भी बोली थी आर्ट वाले एपिसोड में I somehow missed saying this कि like the number one purpose of art is to like uh, is to make others feel not lonely. कि हाँ when you express yourself through some art, other people know कि
But I think it is not always that. But it's not always that.
not always, but like one of the biggest I would say कि हाँ मतलब when I express something, other people know कि हाँ I'm not alone in feeling this. Other people have experienced this.
Yeah.
So that for me is what like I would say number one thing that
It gives you a sense of belonging.
belonging. हाँ कि मतलब हाँ you are not alone. There are people who
For example, friends.
are safe.
Friends is a feeling now for everybody. It's a community now. Multiple people, multiple countries, multiple age groups. People watch it, they are a community. But that's not something we should really focus on to as just one thing that will give you comfort at the end of the day. You should do something which makes you good physically, mentally, emotionally, everything. So when you're dating somebody, when you're talking to people, when you're being vulnerable with them, it is also a part of spirituality because you're opening your soul to somebody. You're talking to somebody and that release will feel good.
Yeah.
So that is why emotional intimacy is top rated in relationships because it is also a part of spirituality. Multiple things is you cannot just talk about spirituality in first of all one episode. Also, you cannot put spirituality in all sectors and talk about it in one episode. I think we can simultaneously discuss the spiritual viewpoints of multiple things in all the episodes. That would rather make more sense. But if you're specifically talking about spirituality as a whole, it is just how connected you are to your soul. In one simple sentence.
How do you define soul in this sentence?
Soul is basically the essence of you. It's not something you need to see outwards. Basically all the self-love, all the happiness. You've seen multiple Instagram posts which says ki happiness is within you, which is true. You just need to see how you take it out from yourself, how you cultivate it or how you discover it.
मतलब like inner body को जो चाहिए वो भी
Body, inner child, inner scholar. Yourself, basically. Not your physical body, but you. That is why mind and brain are two different things. Got it.
I'm so confused in this whole.
He is really regretting that he's chosen this topic.
जल्दी जल्दी में ट्रिगर में ही मैंने तो सोच लिया कि हाँ इसका
But you could have pulled out a specific topic out of this, but that's fine. I'll pick out specific topics out of this now since you've given me.
Yeah.
Only I will pull out the hand.
Yeah.
Yes, so I think this is the basic of spirituality. We can explore this more.
Like, I feel we haven't talked about anything yet. So much.
We've just discussed our contradictory thoughts on everything. It's more like पहली बात तो मेरे को पता ही नहीं था ये एथिस्ट है. मेरे लिए तो शॉकिंग न्यूज़ है ये. We talk every day. We do all kinds of bullshit conversations and we don't know.
How many months have we talked? I think October.
Yeah.
8 months.
Oh my God. 8 months he did not know I'm that spiritual and I did not know he is a complete atheist.
Spiritual था तो हाँ.
I think talking to somebody who can, speak about anything in life is also part of spirituality, like without judgments. We talk about shittiest things in life. इतनी बकवास करते हम कि ये important चीज़ हमने discuss नहीं की. But in a way that's therapeutic. In a way that gives you comfort. In a way that gives you...
That is emotional intimacy.
Happiness, yeah, of course. Friendship is one of the purest forms of emotional intimacy because there is no expectations, there is no judgment. Relationships में तो फिर भी आ जाता है कि यार I've done this for you, you have to do this for me, otherwise get lost.
It's not transactional.
Yeah, it's unconditional. So I think how you connect to yourself or how you connect to somebody else and to what levels also falls into spirituality.
Yeah.
There are so many things to talk about, but most of the things you will have a really blank face about कि ये क्या है. मेरे को समझ नहीं आ रहा है या फिर मैं फानना
on a deeper level, surface level में बस मुझे पता है. On a deeper level, I have no clue कि what are you talking about. But हाँ,
but also
you are making like thoda sense. This thing you said about the hobbies for you is releasing energy. हाँ मतलब nice.
Thank you.
Kind of thoda मतलब click.
But also why I am into spirituality is because of the work I do or because of all the depressive phase I've faced in life. अगर किसी के साथ वो चीज़ें नहीं हुए तो probably they won't be as spiritual into as me in their life. ऐसा ज़रूरी नहीं है कि मेरी एज पे आके सार कोई spiritual हो. So depends on life experiences. मेरे को बहुत बार ऐसे लगता है कि मैं बहुत छोटी एज में spirituality में घुस गई हूँ. Because at this point I really need to go out and enjoy my life, but I rather do things.
But you can do.
Yeah, I can do, but the energy stops me. Like if I have that intuition or if I have that trigger ki nahi, this thing is not safe for me or this person has weird energy or harmful energy, I would walk out. Even though it feels insulting to the person, I don't care.
Okay.
So I think, but I'm very happy that I have, touch wood, I have a few spiritual gifts which give me a lot of comfort in day-to-day life. Sometimes it is scary, sometimes it is really like a boon. It's a curse and a boon at the same time, so yeah.
Okay, so the time is running out.
Yes, I think...
we should end this right away because...
No, we are not ending it right away, we are rating it first.
Oh shit यार मुझे दूसरी बार इसको like इतनी मेहनत है ना यार. 1 घंटे से मैंने बोला था ना कि 1 घंटे से ज़्यादा होता है तो I have to पता नहीं कुछ सॉफ्टवेयर वो इशू हो जाता है, लाइक आई हैव टू वेट।
तो जल्दी रेट करो, वी हैव 30 seconds, कम ऑन।
अभी यार एक नहीं, लेट्स लाइक कंटिन्यू। और भी क्वेश्चन था मेरे लिए। हाँ ओके, आई विल गेस इन 10 years हाउ फार यू विल बी इन दैट स्पिरिचुअल लेवल। मतलब यू नो व्हाट आई मीन।
Yeah, I know what you mean, but our listeners don't, so please elaborate.
नहीं मतलब पहले हाँ मैं मेरा समझता था कि यू रेट मी, नॉट रेट मी, जस्ट बस
I'll rate you 2 out of 10.
आई रेट यू 10 out of 10।
Oh my god, of course.
तो माय क्वेश्चन वाज कि आई विल जस्ट take a guess on in the next 10 years how spiritual or how like just completely ignorant to this whole idea am I going to meet. So like zero being
So I am rating you and you are rating me. Is that how it goes?
कि like अभी तो मेरा जीरो है स्पिरिचुअलिटी का,
हाँ.
तो 10 साल के बाद will I be zero or will I be 10 like completely
You'll
spiritual?
be 50. I'm not completely spiritual.
नहीं नहीं मतलब you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Zero and like 10 is 10.
50.
50, 50.
Yeah.
On a 0 to us, 0 to 10, 0 being
5.
non-spiritual, 5.
5.
Okay.
5 or 6. 5 से नीचे तो नहीं, इतना मैं sure. 10 years is a very long time.
Okay. What will I rate you?
I'm not at a 10 right now. That's a hint. Come on, go ahead.
I guess kitna you are so spiritual. You are the most spiritual in your family.
I am religious. Spiritual and religious are two different things. यहीं से लिख के पेपर मुंह पे मारूंगी.
नहीं, we are talking about spiritual. So you are you are spiritual.
I am spiritual, of course, but I am not a 10.
Spiritual among your, in your family.
Yeah.
I currently I would guess you are at an 8 out of 10.
ठीक है.
You never know. कि like you don't have a scale. कि like
Yeah, we don't have a scale, but there is a long way I need to go. I already
you
have.
are already very far as like from the perspective of
Yeah. But there is still a very long way I need to go.
Okay.
And I'm aware of those levels, so I know how.
So do you have those like mentors, masters who are at the
Yeah.
heaven that you
Yeah.
reach to?
I look up to them. I want to learn so many things. I still want to dive deep into this field of energy healing.
You can name one or two people who are into this who like what exactly?
So this is the person I learned meditations from. It's Master Sri Akarshna. You can check it out on YouTube. He is one of my first mentors.
Is he Indian?
No.
What did you say the name?
Master Sri Akarshna.
Yeah, Akarshana.
Akarshana, yes.
Akarshana.
He is right now based in Dubai. And he is not an Indian. His name was Eric Ho. But he learned a lot of things in India. And he went through a specific spiritual process. All of his journey is on YouTube. And then he changed his name.
Okay.
Really big believer of his belief pattern and how he teaches things in day-to-day life. Basically, my idea of spirituality majorly comes from him because he does not ask to, sacrifice your lifestyle for anything spiritual. It's like you live the same lifestyle, but you go spiritual with your mindset.
Wow. Matlab,
That one.
it kind of relates to this thing where so I'm into editing and there is this culture of especially in the film industry of just overworking yourself, hustling and just like working to your death, and like just film industry is this kind of thing which promotes an imbalance in the work life.
Yeah, always.
But just recently, the editor for the film Everything Everywhere All at Once, the film which won Oscar and also the best editing, the guy gave a speech and उसमें he just said this one thing. नहीं मैंने देखी नहीं, but उसके speech में उसने ये बोला कि basically मतलब यही बोला, I don't know the exact words, कि हाँ मतलब there ऐसा promote मत करो, there you can do this, you can have a good work-life balance and you can still amazing work of art. So kind of relates into your thing now, कि मतलब you don't dedicate your whole life to this, to
So with me what used to happen is because I'm helping people, मेरे को हैबिट बन गई थी कि किसी भी टाइम पे लोगों की हेल्प कर दो. Like if people are calling me at 1 a.m. at night or early in the morning, I'm like नहीं इनको ज़रूरत है, I'll help them. That became toxic for me. So then I decided कि नहीं, there is a specific timeline जिसमें मैं काम करूँगी. If it's very very urgent and it is with somebody I'm very close to, then of course I'll help them. But not just like I'll not be available all the time. That is a firm boundary I've created because it just drains me then. It's better to have energy and help more people rather than draining energy for one person and not being able to help others. So yeah. But if I'm rating this spirituality as a whole.
Okay, just before you say that, at least one thing we could like agree on at the end.
Yeah.
Continue spirituality rate.
If I'm rating it on pH level, I think I'll go with 100% basic.
No, we rated it on a scale of 1 to 14.
1 to 14, I'll go 100% basic. सारे टॉपिक 100% बेसिक ही जा रहे हैं, बट स्पिरिचुअलिटी कभी कभी एसिडिक हो जाता है व्हेन यू डोंट हैव लिमिटेशंस. तो वो थोड़ा सा इट ट्रिगर्स सो मेनी थॉट्स, फिर वो ओवर थिंकिंग हो जाती है, एंग्जाइटी हो जाती है कि हम क्यों लाइफ जी रहे हैं, हम क्यों पैसे कमा रहे हैं. इट बिकम्स अ पार्ट ऑफ योर एंग्जाइटी. इट इज़ लाइक एग्जिस्टेंशियल क्राइसिस काइंड ऑफ अ थिंग. तो वो कभी कभी हो जाता है एसिडिक, बट व्हेन यू नो हाउ टू मनूवर योर सेल्फ इन टू इट, it's very basic and it is much needed, whether right now in life or later in life. Every person has to bow down to spiritual power, and this is my firm belief. I don't give a damn कि बाकी लोग क्या सोचते हैं, because I have seen people, I have seen myself.
एक ही sentence में you said कि everyone has to believe, and then you said I don't care what anybody.
मतलब if you have a contradictory thought to this, I don't care what thought you have, because I know, because I know one or the other time in life you are going to bow down to spirituality. And
interesting. I have something to look forward to. I have the thing I will look forward to is to defeat Harisha in this belief.
You won't.
I'm not going to bow down to spirituality.
In energy, in emotions, in mental thought processes, you cannot defeat me, and you should have known that by now. Yes, so you rate and we can...
What did you rate? You rated it 0?
No, I rated it 14. Sometimes acidic.
14 is acidic नहीं है 14?
No, 14.
14 is basic है पक्का?
ये हर एपिसोड में क्या है?
ज़्यादा नहीं यार, मैंने कमेंट
Oh God.
So I will rate it like the current 22-year-old P is going to rate it 0 out of on the pH scale.
0, it's acidic for you.
It's very acidic.
You are becoming acidic for me now. Let's wrap this up. So I think that will be all for today's episode. We are going to discuss spirituality more in the coming time. You can also listen to this podcast on Spotify. अगर वीडियो खोल के देखने का मन नहीं है तो वहाँ पे भी सुन सकते हो. Apart from that, you can check out various other tarot videos on the channel. I'm posting daily shorts. Also, I'm coming up with weekly and monthly tarot readings. And every week, every Friday, we'll be coming out with new episode for this podcast. Please hit the notification bell so that you can be updated whenever the video uploads. उसके अलावा, like this video, share this video with your friends and family. Comment your thoughts on spirituality. अगर कुछ सही लगा, नहीं लगा, whatever your thoughts are, हम ध्यान नहीं देंगे पर हम पढ़ेंगे ज़रूर.
हम ध्यान देंगे.
ये ध्यान दे देगा. बट अगर आप मेरे सब्सक्राइबर हो, आपको पता है what kind of belief system I have, so you already know. तो ठीक है, we will read it and we will just keep it in mind. But if you really think that we should explore this topic further, that also you can comment down below कि ठीक है और जानना है कि नहीं जानना है. You can let us know.
Alright, the link to Spotify is in the description. Thank you for listening.
Just a second, you can also follow me on Instagram. उसका भी link description box में है. Follow करो, मुझे followers चाहिए, थोड़े ज़्यादा चाहिए. Please support.
Follow her.
Yes, thank you.
Subscribe to all her Instagram pages.
All?
This YouTube.
I only want.
You have to Instagram.
That is for jewelry. Now that is not connected to this.
Right.
Yeah.
Follow, subscribe, share, like, whatever. Bye-bye.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Done for today. Bye.
See ya.